Hello and welcome to this SUP boarder review of the Aqua Marina Race Elite, an inflatable racing SUP. Now I must admit I'm so excited to bring you this review, maybe more excited than I ever have been before about an inflatable board. The Aqua Marina have really bettered their products in their collection in 2022, and the Race Elite is a new board that just excites me to get on the water. Full disclosure, I'm not much of a SUP racer. Paddling this board opened my eyes to the potential of iSUPs and how well they perform. Have I given too much away? Let's find out our full thoughts and impressions in this review. For those of you that haven't joined a SUP boarder review before, welcome, and hello to everyone for tuning in again. If you do enjoy watching our videos, please like, subscribe to our channel and click that little bell on YouTube to receive updates of all of our new content coming out from SUP boarder. In this review, we'll be covering everything you need to know about riding and buying the Aqua Marina Race Elite. From the specifications, which we now have on the screen, to the full iSUP package, inflating the board, looking at the fittings on the board as well, deflating our thoughts and impressions and the negatives we saw from this board, before letting you know who this board's actually going to suit at the end of the video. The Aqua Marina Race Elite is 14 feet long, comes in at 25 inches wide, it's 6 inches thick, and total volume of 330 litres. It weighs just over 11 kilos or 25 pounds, and Aqua Marina say this board can carry up to 150 kilogram load capacity. Has a recommended PSI of 18 and it retails at £949 or €999. It fared very well in deflection test with only 13mm deflection, and we'll still touch on this soon for those of you that don't know about our stiffness test. The Race Elite features a new construction method called the double layer quadruple stringer technology. A drop stitch core with 2 layers on top and another 2 rail bands on the rail, plus an added rail reinforcement and those carbon stringers, 2 on the top and 2 of them on the bottom for that quadruple stringer tech. The Race Elite slots into Aqua Marina's race range of iSUPs, which feature 3 other boards in different constructions. The Race 12.6 and 14 foot alongside the multi-person iSUP, the 22 foot Airship. You get a basic bag with purchase of this package, and it opens up fully for easy access and has a pocket on the inside for storage of the accessories. The pump is a GRI double action pump branded with Aqua Marina. This gets the board up to 18 PSI, but it does take a little while to pump up with so much volume in the board. Double action means you can switch the dial on the pump to number 2 to use both the upstroke and downstroke to inflate, and when the pumping gets a bit tough, you switch the dial to number 1 to just have the downstroke inflation when pumping, so that's single action. GRI are a top pump manufacturer, so it's nice to see this with purchase. You also get a good coiled leash with the package, and the fin probably takes top mention of the best accessory you get with this board. The honeycomb fiberglass fin is an upgrade from plastic fins you see on a lot of other race iSUPs. Now a deflection test measures the stiffness of the board. We place the board on a 1.5 meter gap with a 75 kilogram weight on top and see how far the board bends. At 13mm, this fared really well considering we get boards that range from 9mm to 27mm. A stiffer board will equal better performance. Jumping into the fittings on the board, on top we have a front bungee system to store gear. The center carry handle is weighted nicely and it's comfortable to carry the board. The deck pad is a diamond pattern with a crocodile grip. The standout feature of this deck pad though is the raised sides at the standing area. The pad carries all the way back to the tail where there is a kicker raised for better foot placement. The valve point is behind the tail pad, and then there is the D-ring leash attachment point. Flipping the board over, we have the center US fin box along with 2 side runners for better water release off the tail. Now this board is finished off very nicely, and you would expect that with the price of the board too, but it goes to show that Aqua Marina are stepping up their game. There's no rail bump, the runners on the bottom are glued very well, the deck pad is stuck down fully, and it just looks fast being that red color too. Is that really a thing? Red goes faster? Well, it certainly helps out on the water. I was impressed by the speed, glide, tracking of the Race Elite. At 25 inches wide, I had my doubts about the stability, but I gained more and more confidence as the sessions went on this board. Okay, let's break it down. The raised sides on the deck pad mean you can tuck your feet up against them, and this promotes a locked in feeling which adds to that stability. I feel if those sides weren't there, at 25 inches wide it would be hard to balance as well, and you may be standing with your feet a little wider than you should. It's a simple addition that certainly changes the whole feel of the board. Because I felt stable, I could really focus on technique and paddling, which increased my speed out on the water. The narrow outline helps to reduce drag, and the runners at the bottom on the back of the board allow water to release a lot quicker than if they were not there. The pintail promotes glide and tracking, but the biggest contributor to the tracking was the fin. I really felt it paddled in a straight line for longer, and this could be down to that 14 feet of length and lack of maneuverability, but the large area helps with directional stability, keeping you moving in a straight line. Touching on the maneuverability of the board, and step back turns were fairly easy. I think with a bit more practice from my side, it could be a lot better. Of course, the 14 feet length doesn't promote quick turns, and you need to be on it with your feet shuffling back. Just because that board gets narrower as you move back, it's really important to stay on the center line, otherwise you will lose balance quickly. It felt remarkably stiff for a 14-foot board too. Those carbon stringers must help to stiffen the board up, and this increases performance on the water. If you have a board that bends too much, it's going to push water and create drag. Something you don't really want from a racing SUP. You want the fastest possible board, and Aqua Marina are edging closer to creating that with the Race Elite. As far as using the full fittings on the board, you could place a dry bag under the front bungees for a longer training paddle, but in essence you don't really need it. It's a nice addition to have though. Getting off the water and deflating the board, packing the equipment away, it is quite easy. The raised side pads on the deck roll easily, and it all fits in the bag when rolled up. Were there any negatives when reviewing this board? Well, I think there's only some things to consider. Now, you don't get a paddle with purchase of this package, and that may turn some of you away from that price point, but the board isn't aimed at those first-time paddlers, so it's expected that you would have another paddle and have some experience under your belt already. A slightly longer leash would be awesome to have with this board as well. This coiled leash just didn't have the reach or enough slack for my comfort when paddling. Now, it is a personal preference, but I kept feeling the leash pulling tight against my ankle. On the flip side of this, the leash is not going to be in the water when paddling, and that adds drag, so that is a plus. Now, the bag isn't very comfortable when carrying it either, and it doesn't really have much padding, so I definitely upgrade if you're thinking of traveling with this board. Lastly, plastic, plastic, plastic everywhere. The industry and consumers are definitely thinking more about buying eco-friendly, so if that's a priority of yours, maybe rethink this purchase. If paper was substituted, it would be a great first step, but other brands are going above that now to change the industry. The price is nudging that premium side of things, I must admit, but the build quality has really improved. You're getting some nice accessories like the fin, and it's a downright performance SUP. There's really some great value for money in this board. So who's this board really going to suit? Well, you're going to need to have at least a couple of years experience paddling on the water in a variety of different conditions, and even on a few different boards if you are looking at the Race Elite 14 foot. Riders between the lower end of 70 kilograms with some experience and 95 kilograms, maybe with a bit more experience, would benefit from this board. But myself at 85 kilograms and those about 90 kilograms will really see the benefits of using this board. The 6-inch thickness with that added weight of the rider makes for a good level above the water. Any lighter and you might be thinking of going for a slightly thinner board at 5 inches if you're seriously into racing. However, if you were the really lightweight paddler under 70 kilograms with a good couple of years paddling experience, then this board could actually double as a racing SUP plus a fast touring board. With those bungees up front, you do have the ability to store gear, and that lighter rider, if you are packing gear onto that board, you're going to get where you're going pretty quickly. It's best suited though if you want a race board, but may not have the storage capacity for a 14-foot hardboard. Well, that's it for this review of the Aqua Marina Race Elite 14-foot iSUP. It definitely surprised me with the performance element out on the water. We hope this review helps with your decision to buy one or not. And remember, if you like these reviews, please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and that way we can help to continue bringing you content just like this. Always feel free to drop some comments down below as well. We'll be happy to get back to you with any questions that you may have. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again very soon.